Welcome to Shapeville, the most fun and magical place in the world, where imagination and shapes come together to create a world like no other. Here, everything you see is a shape. From the tiniest pebble to the tallest tower, every part of Shapeville is made from bright, bold shapes that make the town come alive. The houses are perfect squares, the trees are tall triangles, and even the sun and clouds float above as cheerful circles and fluffy ovals. Snacks, signs, and even the playground are all made of shapes. The ground is a checkerboard of tiny, colorful squares, and everywhere you look, colors burst and dance, making every step feel like a celebration. Let's meet the shapes. First, there's Sammy the Circle, who rolls everywhere with a big smile and loves spinning around to make everyone laugh. Then there's Susie the Square, steady and strong, always ready to help her friends build the tallest towers and the sturdiest forts. Timmy the Triangle is full of energy, with 3 pointy corners and a knack for pointing out new adventures and fun things to do. And don't forget Ricky the Rectangle. He's long, helpful, and always ready to lend a hand, especially when it's time to build bridges or make new paths. These 4 friends play, build, and laugh together every single day, filling Shapeville with joy and excitement. But what makes Shapeville truly special and keeps everyone smiling from morning to night? It's the Great Giggle Gem. This magical, sparkling gem sits right in the center of town, glowing with happiness and keeping everyone giggling all day long. The gem is the heart of Shapeville's happiness, shining bright and bringing everyone together in laughter and friendship. The shapes love to share circle cookies and square crackers, always enjoying snack time together and making sure no one is left out. Every day is bright and joyful because of their friendship, the laughter they share, and the magic of the gem that brings them all together. But what would happen if the gem suddenly went missing? Would Shapeville ever be the same? Let's find out together, as our adventure begins and the shapes set out to solve the mystery. In Shapeville, every shape matters and every friend is important, no matter their size or color. And every day brings a brand new adventure, full of surprises, laughter, and friendship. One bright and cheerful morning, Sammy the Circle rolled happily to the center of Shapeville, his blue surface gleaming in the sunlight. The town square was usually filled with laughter and the sound of friends playing, but today, something felt different in the air. Sammy stopped in his tracks, eyes wide with shock, when he saw that the Great Giggle Gem, the magical glowing jewel that kept everyone smiling, was missing from its pedestal. Without the gem, Shapeville felt suddenly quiet and sad. The usual sparkle in the air was gone, and even the birds seemed to sing a little softer. Sammy wobbled with worry, calling out to everyone he could see, "The Giggle Gem is gone!" His voice echoed through the empty square, reaching every corner of town. Susie the Square hurried over, her corners drooping and her eyes full of concern when she saw the empty spot where the gem used to shine. Timmy the Triangle and Ricky the Rectangle soon joined them, their faces full of shock and disbelief. The 4 friends gathered around the empty pedestal, unable to believe what had happened. The whole town seemed to lose its color. No one was giggling. Even the sun, which usually beamed down with a big, bright smile, seemed less cheerful and a little bit dull. Sammy's voice trembled as he turned to his friends. "What will we do now? How can we bring back the laughter?" Susie the Square straightened up, determination shining in her eyes. "We can't have Shapeville without giggles," she declared, her voice strong and clear. She stood tall and proud. "We'll find it. We're the shapes and we're friends. If we work together, nothing can stop us." Timmy the Triangle pointed forward with excitement. "Let's go on an adventure. We'll search every corner of Shapeville until we find the gem." Ricky the Rectangle stretched out, ready to help in any way he could. "I'll help. Bridge, ladder, whatever we need. We can do this together." The 4 friends stood side by side, united and determined to bring the giggles back to their beloved town. They knew this would be their most important adventure yet. With hopeful hearts and brave spirits, they set off from the empty pedestal, ready to face any challenge that might come their way. Shapeville needed its shapes, and its laughter, more than ever before. The whole town was counting on them to bring back the joy. Together, the friends marched forward, confident and hopeful, ready for anything that might happen on their quest. The search for the gem would test every shape's special skills. Each friend had something unique to offer, and they would need to use all their talents to succeed. But with teamwork, anything was possible. The adventure was on. Their friendship would be their greatest strength. Would they find the gem and bring back the giggles? Only time and the power of teamwork would tell. But one thing was certain, the shapes would never give up on each other, or on Shapeville. "Let's start at the top," said Susie the Square, her eyes sparkling with excitement as she gazed up at the tallest hill in Shapeville. The morning sun made the grass shimmer, and the air was filled with the promise of adventure. Timmy the Triangle pointed up to the tallest round hill, his sharp corners quivering with anticipation. "Maybe the gem is waiting for us up there," he exclaimed, imagining the treasure glinting at the very top. Sammy the Circle was the first to try. He rolled up the hill, spinning faster and faster. But every time he got close to the top, he'd lose his grip and tumble back down, giggling all the way. Being round made it fun, but not very helpful for climbing. Susie gave it a go next. With her steady, flat sides, she tried to march straight up the slope. But the grass was slick with morning dew, and her corners kept slipping. She slid back down, landing with a soft thud and a determined grin. Timmy jabbed his pointy corners into the earth, climbing higher than anyone else. He was almost at the top when he looked down and saw how far he'd come. Suddenly, his knees wobbled and he froze, feeling a little dizzy from the height. Each shape tried their best, using their own special ways to climb. But the hill was just too round and too steep for any of them to reach the summit. They slid, tumbled, and laughed, but the gem was nowhere to be found. "The gem isn't up here," Timmy sighed, sliding down the hill with a disappointed look. The others followed, a little tired but still hopeful. "It would just roll off anyway," Sammy joked, picturing the gem bouncing down the hill like a shiny marble. The friends all giggled at the thought. As they caught their breath at the bottom, the friends realized something important. Not every shape is perfect for every challenge. Sometimes the hill just isn't made for you. But they didn't give up. Instead, they cheered each other on, sharing smiles and encouragement. There were plenty more places to search. "Let's try somewhere else," Susie suggested, her voice full of hope. The friends nodded, ready to keep going. They learned that sometimes even your best effort isn't enough, if it's not the right shape for the job. But that's okay, because every shape has its own strengths. Working together, they could try new ideas and help each other out. The adventure was far from over. The search for the gem was just beginning, and the friends felt more determined than ever. Where would they look next? Maybe the gem was hidden somewhere unexpected, just waiting to be discovered. The friends set off together, ready to check every corner of Shapeville, from the tallest towers to the tiniest nooks. The gem had to be somewhere. Maybe it was hidden in plain sight, or tucked away where only the cleverest shapes could find it. With hearts full of hope and eyes wide with curiosity, the friends marched onward, ready for whatever the next challenge would bring. "If it's not up, maybe it's down," said Ricky the Rectangle. The friends peered into the squarey square, a deep, dark, square-shaped pit. Sammy worried he'd roll in and never get out. Susie's sides were too short to reach the bottom. Timmy didn't want his points stuck in the corners. Ricky had an idea. "I'll be a ramp." He stretched his long body into the pit, making a gentle slope. Susie held Ricky steady while Sammy rolled carefully down. At the bottom, Sammy searched every corner. "No gem here, just some dusty ovals," he called up. The friends pulled Sammy back up, a little disappointed but still hopeful. "We're getting closer," Susie encouraged. Every shape helped in their own way. The adventure continued. There were more places to search. The friends climbed out, ready for the next clue. Shapeville's giggles depended on them. On to the next spot. "Let's check the triangle trees," Timmy suggested. The forest was full of tall, pointy triangle trees, Timmy's favorite place. Sammy tried to roll, but the ground was too pointy for circles. Timmy zipped between trees, checking every nook with his corners. Susie measured trunks. Ricky peeked over bushes. They searched high and low, left and right, but found no gem. Timmy loved the pointy forest, but even he couldn't find the gem. The sun began to set as they finished searching. "No luck here," Susie sighed. But the friends didn't give up. They learned that every shape has a place where it fits best. The gem was still missing, but their teamwork was strong. "Let's keep going," said Ricky. The adventure wasn't over yet. Onward, shapes! Tired and worried, the friends reached the Rectangle River. The river was wide and blue, shaped just like Ricky. Suddenly, Timmy spotted something sparkling on a little island, the Great Giggle Gem. But the river was too wide to jump and too deep to cross. Sammy couldn't roll on water, Susie would sink, and Timmy was too pointy to float. "Wait," said Ricky, "I can be a bridge." He stretched across the river, making a sturdy path. The friends cheered. Ricky was the perfect shape for the job. Sammy carefully rolled across Ricky's back to the island. He nudged the gem and rolled it back across the bridge. The friends celebrated. Together, they'd solved the biggest problem yet. Every shape had tried, but only a rectangle could bridge the gap. The gem was finally within reach. Teamwork had saved the day. The friends hurried back to Shapeville, gem in tow. The adventure was almost over. Giggles were about to return. Back in Shapeville, the friends placed the Great Giggle Gem on its pedestal. Instantly, the town brightened. The sun shone, houses stood tall, and giggles bubbled everywhere. "We did it!" cheered Sammy. "Every shape helped," said Ricky. "We needed circles, squares, triangles, and rectangles to solve the mystery," Susie added. Timmy grinned. "Every shape is special." The friends laughed together, feeling proud and happy. Shapeville was full of giggles again. That night they shared star-shaped cookies and remembered their adventure. The round hill was too round for me, Sammy laughed. The square hole needed a ramp, Susie smiled. The triangle forest was too pointy for rolling, Timmy joked. But together we did it, Ricky said. Every shape mattered and every friend was important. The Great Giggle Gem was home, and so were the giggles. In Shapeville, every day ends with laughter.